Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 20th of September for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you an overview of the big planetary movers and shakers this week before going on to give you your zodiac sign forecast in greater detail. This week begins on Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world, with that fabulous full moon in the sign of Pisces. And I say fabulous because this is a glorious opportunity for us all to realign our physical and practical realities with the more emotional and spiritual dimension. If we're too focused on the humdrum, we need to just tune out from that a little bit and become much more conscious about how things feel. If we're very focused on the emotional and spiritual dimension, but not quite so on top of our practical world, then this is a great chance to realign. And with Pluto in support, the planet of change, there's every chance we can do this really well. But of course, this is the week when the Sun makes its passage into the sign of Libra, and on Wednesday we have the autumn equinox. So this is a really major event. It's the third quadrant, the third cardinal quadrant that begins this third quarter of the astrological year. It begins with the Sun at 0 degrees Libra, and that's known as an earth point. The others are 0 degrees Aries, the vernal point, 0 degrees Cancer when we have the summer solstice, and 0 degrees Capricorn when we have the winter solstice. So this autumn equinox is, if you like, a staging point in our journey. And the sign of Libra is very much about finding balance, but it can also be to do with things like fashion and design and style. So embracing those things can be a glorious thing to do over the next 4 weeks. And like the other cardinal signs, Libra is a sign of leadership. And of course, a big part of its emphasis is on those relationships. Now, this is also a week when Mercury, already in the sign of Libra, is in a more tense right angle with Pluto. And this suggests that when it comes to professional relationships, there could be a little bit of a power battle going on. Perhaps you've got ideas that someone in a position of influence is going to resist. Perhaps you're the employer. Either way, some kind of tension is possible, though from midweek there is a glorious angle between Mars in the sign of Libra and also Saturn. And that suggests where we have very solid relationships and we feel a sense of trust and also perhaps a sense of community, then those alliances can get stronger. But of course, the other standout influence this week is Venus's opposition to Uranus. And this is just saying to us, while we're becoming more mindful of relationships with that Libra change and that autumn equinox, it's just saying that we still need to be open-minded and flexible. Both Venus and Uranus are in fixed signs in Scorpio and also Uranus. So if we are a little too attached to our routines and we've lost a little bit of the spontaneity in a close relationship, this is a great time to start working harder at it and try to do things a little bit more off the cuff. But if you're single, all these energies this week do point towards an increased possibility to someone to come into your world, but it may happen quite quickly and in quite a magnetic and electric kind of way. Now, if you're new to me and my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you'd like to get your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can do so by subscribing on the link below. I provide the content for Britain's most read daily newspaper, The Metro, and platforms all around the world. And of course, with year 2022 racing up, if you do want your forecast for next year now, you can order it and get the rest of this year free, plus a character analysis, plus 30% off. So please see that offer below. Now please stay with me for your in-depth horoscope forecast. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 20th of September. The full moon at the start of this week is in your sector of home and emotions, but the sun has been on and continues to be through to Wednesday in your sector of success. But there's a bit of a shift going on. Well, more than a bit of a shift. There's rather a large shift going on, because by the time the sun moves midweek with that autumn equinox, you have a big clustering of energy in the part of your scope to do with friendships, the future, your social interactions, and perhaps if you have been pushing hard to try to clarify your place in life or to pursue goals and ambitions over the last weeks with all those planets going through Virgo, which would be understandable. I just feel that that full moon was just saying, well, hold on, what does this all mean in terms of how it feels, in terms of family, in terms of emotion? And if you can get together with the people that you do enjoy being with, you know, that you can have some fun and have a little bit of downtime, I feel that that's what this week can really help you to enjoy. It is the fact that Venus does continue in a very tender location for close relationships, and possibly you're not wanting to be quite as loved up or in touch with somebody that may have actually been quite important to you of late. There's a part of you that wants to be freer. After all, being a Sagittarius is very much about being independent, and there has been a lot of energy developing in recent times in your fourth house with this full moon, with Neptune there, with Jupiter there in recent times, although it's back now in your third house. So a lot of emotional stuff going on, and I feel now you're wanting a bit of a lighter, brighter week. And with your ruler Jupiter forging a fabulous angle to Mercury, there may be someone you spend time with that you can have a good laugh, you can reminisce, or perhaps you're going to get together in some kind of group situation, play a sport, go to watch a match, go to watch a band play if COVID regulations allow where you are. Just a lot more of a jollier, outgoing time. Is there a catch? Well, just that Mercury is squaring up with Pluto, which just says you've got to pay for it, and you've got to be mindful if your core values match the people you're hanging out with, because I think you become much more conscious of who is the right fit for you. But I think this is just one of those weeks where if you give yourself that permission to move out of that work-life balance situation, which the full moon is really speaking to, and just have some play, sociability and fun, I think it's going to be really cathartic for you.